Mr. Chen, Madam Yang, and I believe there are some guests from overseas on VC basis. I must say that even though they talk about the industry, unfortunately today I'm not going to share anything about the industry. Okay, this is not something that when Dr. Chen told me, and I put something together about carbon, about cement. Of course, I'm standing here from Taiwan Cement Corporation, and cement is one of the biggest emitters of carbon dioxide. The question is, why am I here? To be honest with you, very simple. Because I wanted Taiwan Cement, basically TCC, Taiwan Cement Corporation. We like to change to total climate commitment as well as total care commitment. So therefore, we do believe very much the responsibility of carbon is ours, and we need to reduce it. And believe it or not, in the basic terms, nowadays we talk externalities in terms of manufacturing costs. Carbon has never counted as externalities. Now, we found out that carbon is one of the biggest externalities exists in manufacturing, which is extremely unfortunate. And I believe, in my view, that in the near future, carbon will be, the foreseeable future, the main topic for industry, period. World Health Organization has called climate change the biggest single health threat to human society. Carbon is the basis how humans need to re-understand and to rethink our world. In prehistoric age, we tend to use mythologies. It was the first way human beings tried to explain the world. But when humans were fundamentally innocent about scientific information and ignorance of nature. Nature already have many violent storms such as snow, thunders, wind, lightning, etc. All those pieces we have no way of understanding. But we use myth, prophecies, stories, superstitions to settle down and to develop our society and environment. And this enormous force of nature still exists. With the gradual development of civilization and human beings, we slowly usher into to a stage of rationality and age of enlightenment. Human rationality gradually developed, but mankind still consistently search for what is the best state for the world to be in. We started from philosophers from the ancient Greeks, Galileo, Leibniz, of the Enlightenment times, Adam Smith, and as well as the most modern scientist, Einstein. Talk explained the universe. Basically, use those logic and methodology, we can explain some of the things happening with us. But in reality, just those information to structure and to reveal the essence of Earth and ourselves is not enough. When human beings rapidly expanding our civilizations also rapidly cause drastic changes to the entire natural environment, this is especially true after the Industrial Revolution, because the whole development since the Industrial Revolution was our energy was from the mining of carbon as an energy source. And this has demonstrated the speed that extreme weather events occurring in the 21st century. And of course, at the same time, we're also looking at the species disappearing in the natural world. Through human technology advances, we have accelerated everything. In our world, carbon has always been the most important foundation of life. It is the source of our rapid change. It also affects the ecological environment. Carbon is the fourth most abundant element in the universe. It's a basic building block of almost all human life, all lives on Earth. Human beings can use carbon today, geological, paleontological For millions of years, carbon is very important, the footprint there. But we have seen last 100 years, our carbon footprint to the natural world accelerated very, very fast. The process of hydrocarbon originally was sealed by nature. We converted those carbon into energy. We combusted, large contributor to the climate disasters today. Unlike many other things today, carbon has not been domesticated. We domesticated almost everything, but carbon has not been domesticated. But it has no borders. It has no constraints. It turns everywhere. It steers of everything. And make the point that sea cannot be cooled. The wind steers up. It creates innumerable amount of occurrences in natural disaster, unknown weather events across the world. Well, as I said before, human beings use mythologies to explain. But we now need to use sciences to stabilize and hopefully to rectify what we have done. And the key word is, again, back, is carbon. Carbon governance is the utmost urgent task for all human beings to undertake. Indeed, I like to use the word, carbon genie has been released from nature's magical lamp. In the process of development, we humans have released the genie of nature lamp into the air. And the genie has given us many wishes. Those wishes give us the life today, give us the civilization today. Also give us excessive usage of natural resources. The power genie is everywhere. It has reached a point. It is squeezing our existence. So every one of us must use the final wish, the carbon genie, back to the nature's lamp. But by only relying on industrial systems and the limited ability of companies, can we concentrate on the use of technology and change our ways of life to help to domesticate the carbon genie? The problem is that at the same time, many of the world's corners, there are still many political wrestlings, man-made inertias, which keep on releasing carbon genies into the world. Today's conference is about CBAM. Obviously, these are pros and cons for CBAM. I'm not going to go through that because I have a limited time. I don't want to waste it. Basically, my personal opinion, CBAM is a necessity, period. Because carbon is something that has to be put away. Without putting away, I don't know how much longer 2050 human life, human society may go beyond. So I'm going to skip the section about CBAM. And Professor before already explained it. We must consider carbon tax or carbon fee is a norm, but it's not a regional norm. It has to be a world norm. I think the world carbon costs and tax has to be converged. Cannot be someplace low, someplace high. Has to converge. And CBAM is one way to start it. I'm sure the United States or other economies will continue on that area. The trade tariffs, we look at it as a CBAM. We look at it as trade tariffs. And trade tariffs tend to associate on bilateral matters. And business costs on carbon considered as a company matter, enterprise matter. But trust me, carbon reduction should not be a matter of an economy, an enterprise. It's an issue of our entire planet. We must use carbon tax, if I want to use it, to formulate a common rule that can be firmly make people from different economies, from different stages of development and different generations move in the same direction. All that has to be in sync. Our generation must take up the responsibility for a situation left by previous, our fathers and grandfathers, as well as ourselves. Solve it. We must set a guideline for the future generations to come. Overall, debating surrounding cross-border tax is complex. There's absolutely no easy solution. You saw some formulas. Those are not solutions. They're just formulas calculating. It doesn't do anything. You just calculate whether you can do business or not. But it is something that the international community must work together to reduce emission and hopefully create a more sustainable future. Unfortunately, this particular issue, the carbon tax issue, has been used as a proxy for both domestic and international political disagreements, and of course, as well as geopolitical dimensions everywhere. That's the beginning, the renewable energy transition starting, but there's still prejudice based on self-interests, on countries, as well on ideologies, as well as on corporate profits only. What's more important than carbon reduction? To be honest, there's really nothing more important than carbon reduction. That matters the human life in the future. What's more important, to reduce the use or to capture? The answer is both. Has to be done. Otherwise, cannot reach the goal we were there. Carbon governance, carbon domestication are already the most important element of Earth governance. I believe every industry that intends to reduce carbon will have questions. Will the work of a corporation in the next 30 years only be as absurd as Sisyphus, who, according to Greek mythology, pushing the stone uphill and come back again? Are we not doing that? But still, at this time, people, companies, countries, and European Union that governs the Earth can play a role like Atlas, which basically squarely shoulder the responsibility, how difficult it is to carry the responsibility on our shoulders. Very. Okay, but we need to look at the Paris Agreement, 2050 net zero, 1.5 degrees. But there are still dominant forces exist. Let's use 30 years to extend life on Earth for another 4.6 billion years. Today's industry and companies are committed to carbon reduction, but pushbacks. But European Union is in the leadership role. We hope we'll continue to do so. We will work together. We will, like European Union's anthem, okay, Beethoven's Ode to Joy, create a universal harmony of human beings for our life now and for the future. Today, we are being forced an undomesticated carbon genie. The extreme environment disastrous, and also, unfortunately, the unprovoked war exists, and believe it or not, the unprovoked war is causing also excessive additional carbon to be released into the atmosphere. All the negative forces has to be taken away. In particular, industry around the world must transition from the past carbon-based business model, developing new green energies. We're at the stage it is necessary to continue to invest more time and resources into this global cooperation and even more global coordination of decarbonization. We need to change our economy, still make it productive, but key issues, can we do it without greenhouse gas? It is a basically multi-trillion dollar question to create a low carbon energy system, infrastructure. There's no simple understanding to be, we cannot only be persuaded by the science. We need to face, we need to inspire actions, we need to face sacrifices. Most important of all, we need to have commitment, dedication, compassion, and sympathy for others. We need to find a way to care for the future generation, as well as millions of people who are already personally affected. This is a race against time. We need to have a comprehensive calculation of carbon footprint. Everything we're doing today, alternative fuels, alternative materials, is it enough? Answer is no, it is not enough. We need to do more. But as we're doing hard, we're asking next 30 years, give us 30 years time, a place of no war, but solve the problem. Because I do believe what's coming. The key problem exists today. Where we're going is a vast ocean. There's no direction, no left, right, up and down. There's no direction indicators. Only the North Star is in our heart. It's in our care for each other. We believe it can be done if we put together and put forth. Hopefully, the natural environment will improve or jeopardized. I hope, I believe in C-band because, very simple, because C-band all across the border tax will make those emitters accountable, period, including our industry, ourselves. But if you don't mind, I'd like to conclude with something that a friend of mine, or I should say a classmate of mine wrote, which is interesting. We come after water, we come after land, we come after animals, we come after planets. As we are the youngest relations on this planet, we have a duty to learn from everybody older than us, which means literally everybody. And we have a company, also a company in Europe, which is an energy company, in the focus in the green. Let me give you a statement we make. Embraces the principle of shared value creation, pursuing profitability and simultaneously contributing with intention to the environment and global challenges to allow next generations to live in harmony on our planet. Thank you very much.